Now, of course, I've reviewed a lot of fragrances by the brand Tumi, Awaken, Unwind, Continuum. I think I've pretty much reviewed everything that the brand has put out. Here we have a brand new fragrance, just came out this year, 2023. This one is called 19 Degree, and it's pretty cool because it matches their luggage. It has these 19-degree contours on the presentation of the bottle. I'm really excited to give you my thoughts on this fragrance and also make some possible connections to other fragrances just as a frame of reference. I'm excited for you to watch this review, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on the brand new Tumi fragrance, this one is called 19 Degree. I'm going to tell you all about it. The smell, the notes, the performance, longevity, the evolution on my skin, comparisons, all that good stuff. But I do want to start things off by saying that if you like this type of content here on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, hit that neighboring bell icon, and give this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. It would really, really mean a lot to me. So I really enjoy what Tumi has been putting out. There is a Tumi store in my local mall. So of course I have the opportunity to try their fragrances when they do get released. And here is one that just came out. And of course the presentation looks really, really nice with, of course, the opaque sort of matte finish on the bottle here. And it has the 19-degree contours and it matches their luggage. And you have this locking mechanism on the cap, which you twist it and it holds the bottle in place. I mean, it's a really, really nice presentation. Here we have a fragrance with a really interesting note breakdown. And surprisingly enough, I looked at the note breakdown and I said, uh-oh, I think I know what this is going to smell like. So it has suede, it has raspberry, it has saffron, birch, sandalwood. And I said, this is going to smell like Tuscan leather by Tom Ford. As it turns out, it does not. And I am so happy about that. But what ingredients in the note breakdown or what notes are going to be more prominent than others? Is this going to be primarily a spicy driven fragrance? Is it going to be more of an emphasis on the note of sandalwood? So is it going to be creamy and rich and smooth and slightly sweet? Is it going to be more of a leathery take or, maybe a fruity olfactory profile? So I'm going to talk to you all about the smell in just a bit. Let's take a quicker look and a closer look at the presentation. So right as soon as this fragrance opens up, interestingly enough, I'm looking at the note breakdown and of course I mentioned the birch water, there's the sandalwood, there's the raspberry, the leather, the saffron, all these really interesting notes. But in the opening of this fragrance, I get almost like this bright, juicy, citrusy, fruity chypre kind of an appeal to it. Which is interesting because when you're looking at the note breakdown, it doesn't say bergamot, it doesn't say orange, it doesn't say pineapple, it doesn't say lemon or yuzu or any zesty ingredients, but I spray this on and I'm getting this really zesty opening, which I certainly enjoy. And it's something that I guess might put somebody in the mindset of like a Mancera Cedrat Boisé or a Royal Vintage by Micallef or Supernova by ATH or perhaps even a Creed Aventus. Like it has that bright, zesty, fruity chypre opening, but just in the opening. This fragrance does take a different direction altogether. You just give it a few moments to settle down and you notice that it has this creamy, rich base. And it's funny because looking at the note breakdown, I speculated, what is this going to smell like? I think it's going to be spice driven. I think there's going to be a preponderance of that saffron and perhaps even that leather. And because I saw both saffron and leather in here, I said, this is going to be a spicy fragrance because saffron is used in leather accords, but this one actually isn't that spicy. I can see the inclusion of that suede leather accord and it adds a smoothness to it that I think is complemented by the sandalwood. So I am certainly getting a lot of sandalwood from this fragrance, but truth be told, I am getting that bright, zesty opening, which I think is really, really interesting. The raspberry in here, you can discount it right away. I'm really not getting a lot of raspberry, thankfully, because I didn't really want it to smell explicitly like any other fragrance. And I thought because I was getting something creamy and sweet in the dry down that there was possibly going to be some tonka bean in here. So I thought, okay, maybe that's kind of like a hidden note or ingredient in this fragrance. But I checked the ingredients on the back and surprisingly there's no coumarin. And I thought there would have been, because that would have been a telltale sign that there's tonka bean in here, but there isn't. So interestingly enough, that sweetness is coming from the sandalwood and it's not that sweet. This one has an office-friendly, compliment-getting appeal to it. It does spotlight that sandalwood and that suede leather, so it's a tad bit spicy. It has that creamy smoothness and that fruity chypre introduction sans the raspberry. So for me, it's not much of a berry or fruit-driven fragrance unless we're talking about the citrusy elements in the opening. Here's the thing. This one is going to be fantastic for the office. This is going to be a compliment getter, and that's not really a surprise because that's what Tumi has been putting out. None of their fragrances have ever pushed the envelope. Everything has been really, really safe. And just imagine, you know, as a luggage brand, you're maybe on an airplane and you're wearing 6-7 sprays of one of their fragrances, and you're wearing something dark and challenging and experimental. Meanwhile, you're sitting next to other people who are on that same flight. It doesn't sound like a good idea, right? So everything that they put out and everything that they've released has been mass appealing, a compliment getter, and this is arguably their biggest compliment getter to date. I feel bad because I think I said the same thing about the last release of theirs, but I've changed my mind, you know, with new fragrances that have been released. This one certainly has this bright, zesty, compliment getting appeal. Look, if you're a fan of fragrances like Explorer by Montblanc, Supernova by Aaron Terrence Hughes, if you like that smooth sandalwood finish on fragrances with that bright, zesty, fruity chypre opening, I think you're gonna love this fragrance. Please try it for yourself. I'm gonna leave all of the links down below. Not affiliate links. This is not a sponsored video. I am not making any money from you checking out this particular fragrance through my links down below. I just want to make it easier for my subscribers to locate these fragrances if indeed you're interested in checking them out. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, this one to me, despite the fact that it does possess a little bit of that fruity chypre element in the opening, it is unique because it does kind of go in its own direction, especially with the inclusion of that suede leather accord. Of course, the birch water, it doesn't smell smoky in any way, but I am getting a touch of spice from this one. Longevity on this one was about 8 hours on my skin. Projection was really good. For the first hour of application, it radiated about an arm's length, not beyond that. It became an elbow's length scent right around hour 6 and a skin scent right around hour 8. In terms of the versatility, this one is masculine leaning, I do have to admit. I think this one is great for dressed up or dressed down, great for any time of the year, incredibly versatile. The performance is there, so you can wear it in the colder weather, but the freshness is also there that you can wear it in the hotter weather. I also think this one will appeal to anybody of any age, and as far as the presentation is concerned, the coolest presentation that the brand Tumi has put out so far. My final verdict on this fragrance is, if you're looking for a fruity chypre type of a fragrance, something with a zesty introduction, something with longevity, mass appeal, a compliment factor, versatility, for me personally, it ticks off all of the boxes. Check out 19 Degree by Tumi, their latest release and also their best release. So thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me in today's episode. I hope you took something of value from today's episode. If you did, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it, hit the bell, and please give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. It would really go a long way. Thanks again for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.